What's going on,
Hello,
everybody? What's going on, everybody? I'm
everybody.
Derek Forston,
And I'm Shanya Forston.
and we teach people how to take folks from homeless to hopeful in a shared living environment. I am Mr. ILF, and she's
Miss Silef.
and guys, if you love God and love people, you're in the right place. And if you love community, love helping people, but always wanted to get into real estate, you're also in the right place. And we got a special guest. So T, tell the people who you are and what you do and what's the name of your program.
Hi, everybody. My name is T. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and my company is New Start Solutions.
Good stuff. So a lot of you guys heard from T on Saturday.
Correct.
So this is one of those return calls. And I'll admit, guys, we're going to be pretty short tonight.
Yeah.
So if you got any questions or any concerns, let us know. We got a lot going on in the month of November. It's a lot. My birthday was yesterday. My mom's birthday is tomorrow. And Shay is still celebrating her birthday from the 8th. Can you imagine that? So we got a lot going on. But nevertheless, we love to be consistent. That's one thing I really stand on. And that's one thing that stands out about us, no matter what's going on, guys, whether good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, we gonna pretty much be consistent because there's a lot of people out there that want to know what this is. So again, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, and you want to mix it all together, you're in the right place because we simply teach people how to open their own independent living facility, which doesn't require a license. You don't have to own the property, and it also doesn't require a third. And unlike the traditional group home, you can get started with this tomorrow. So there is no licensure and no city marshals that's got to walk through it to say, yep, you can do this.
Yeah.
With ILFs, guys, it's really different. And it's all because of the population that we're serving. So put in the chat really quickly, where are you guys from? Where you're located? I want to greet anybody that just happens to be new to us. And I want to thank all the older people that always come around regardless. But if you're new to us, type in the chat new. I want to just greet you individually. And then we want to jump right into the material because I want to just kind of pick up from Saturday. So watch this. If you missed us, guys, we're live 7 days a week. And 6 days out of those 7, we're live at 7 p.m. Eastern, just like right now. But Saturday is the only day that we go 10 a.m. So we get it early to allow you guys to enjoy your day. So if you just happen to miss Saturday, you might be a little lost, but I want you to go back and watch it and then conjoin it, if that's a weird word, I don't think it is, with this right here, because this is just an overview, or continuation of that day. So I'm going to pretend most of y'all didn't hear it, and I'm going to let T give just a brief recap. T, can you tell the people briefly, what did we talk about Saturday? Why did I bring you on? What was the example? Why are you here?
So you brought me on because we're talking about meeting with caseworkers and just, connecting with your organization and, how do we connect with organizations to fill up your homes? So that's what we were talking about. And we had to set up a meeting for today that we were meeting with, a particular person from an organization about a house. So that's what we're going to talk about.
Absolutely. So for anybody that missed Saturday, that's what it was. And this is a continuation because if you remember, T arranged a phone call that I was a part of today. And what was different about this phone call, I'm going to try to let her tell most of it, but this person was a provider. But for the first time in my coaching history, T is the first person, guys, and I've been doing this on this side, guys, about 9 years. On this side of it, T is the first person that not only did she meet a great provider because she followed the coaching, this same provider now is offering her a house, but with people already in it. It's a running facility.
Correct.
The favor of God followed T so much. Again, one more time, in case you missed it or you was grinding up some coffee or something because you about to drink coffee and you missed it. She met a provider that not only is going to serve as her funnel system that's going to continue to give her people, but she says, T, you know what? I'm in this game too, but I just got a huge promotion. And I won't be able to run all of these places. And most of my places were pretty smooth, but I got one of them that T, I wouldn't mind letting go. And you seem like the kind of person I wouldn't mind putting on. Now, T, I told most of that story. But can you clean it up a little bit? Shay, you want to hop in?
I want to kind of gear it a little bit to give some more insight to what's going on, because this is huge. Katara's in the chat going crazy. Like everybody's in the chat like going berserk because this is an opportunity of a lifetime. So T, let's first talk about this individual as a provider. Like, how did you meet this individual as a social service provider that is looking for people that need that needs people to be placed in houses? So let's talk about that first.
So I just met her like I'm meeting every other provider. I pick up the phone, I called and say, hey, who can I speak to about affordable housing? She just happened to answer the phone, and I looked at the website. I saw that was her. I was like, okay, this is Miss Blah Blah. So she was like, this is me. So we connected. I said, hey, could we set up a 5 to 10 meeting Zoom call where I can just tell you about my company and how we can be a resource for you for affordable housing? She said, no problem. So later on the week, we set up a 5-10 minute phone call. She invited me to come down to the organization after that. And of course, as the training said, I'm in my gear, my, New Star Solutions. I brought coffee and donuts, and it really, really does work. When you bring coffee and donuts, they are appreciated because a lot of people come with just their hands out. I came with something to give her. So she was really appreciative about that. So after that, like I said, we set up the meeting, we talked, and she said, hey, how can we, work together and take this further?
So let's talk about now, right? Now that you've had this conversation, you know her as a provider. How did the conversation come
to where she offered you a house?
To where like you end up finding out, hey, I am a ILF or a housing provider, as well as in this space, but I want to partner with you. Like, how did that evolve? Like, because you met this woman like once. Was it once? Help me remind me.
I met her once, but I kind of built that rapport over the last, say, maybe a week or two. So from just calling her, introducing myself, meeting with her, doing the presentation, then going down to meeting her again. So I'm just, building that rapport with her. So I just won't be just a stranger and just say, here I am.
So anybody that's new to us, explain to them, why was I on this call as your coach? Like, why was I involved in this? Like, tell them about that.
For you, you're my business partner for this because I didn't know what to say and how to say it. I didn't want to mess it up. So I let her know, hey, I have my business partner who's going to speak with you about this business and how we can partner together. So you're basically like the backup, you're there to help me get through this.
And what's really cool, guys, and most of y'all have heard me say this, but you have no clue what it means until you come into the coaching. Right. A lot of what we do is about verbiage, language, and who we tell it to.
Yeah.
95% of the time, depending on who we're talking to, I'm probably her consultant. 5% of the time, I may be her business partner. Some of the time, 95% of the time, depending again on who we're speaking to, I'm her brother, I'm her family. She is not to call me her consultant or her coach.
Yeah.
She knew exactly what to label me as today with this conversation. When if you were listening closely, every other call I've had with T, I was her program manager.
Right. Yes.
But for this conversation, when the property came of an idea, T told them I was her business partner. How would she know to say all of that and when to say it? It's through the coaching. Yeah. Jump back in and share. I said you had something.
So yeah, no, my next question would be, so how did the conversation evolve to partnership, right? What caused that? And what would you say the initial, what did that sound like? Let's talk about, unpack the actual conversation. Like, how did she say, hey girl, you want to run my house? Like
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like how did that happen?
Who does that, as the young kids say?
No, from when I was in her office, like I said, we got a tour, we were sitting down and we were just having like a 5-10 minutes conversation. And she explained to me that she started this type of business several years ago because she couldn't find somebody like us, so she did it herself because she had a lot of people who were looking for affordable housing, in her position. So I said, okay. Then she was telling me that, hey, I think it's just a couple of houses that I may just want to, have somebody take over. And I was like, oh, really? And I was just asking her why she wanted, somebody to take it over, just talking to her more. I didn't want to seem too excited, So I kind of texted Derek. I said, hey, this is what's going on. What should I say? He said, hey, don't say anything. Let her know that we can set something up and, for later. So that's why I said, okay, let me not be too excited. Let me talk to my coach and see what he said. So I followed his instructions.
I love that.
I said, T, this is either God being really good or this is a scam.
Right.
You don't go and meet some social worker who owns 8 properties and say, oh, you know what?
I want to hand off.
You seem pretty good. I'll give you one.
But I can say this.
Be a cost
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. But this is when you go and you show up, right? One of the things that we always train our every lady that we consult is when you show up in a manner that is professional, that doesn't look down or demeaning on anybody, be approachable, right? Because people
she bragged about how nice T was on the phone
and that's
call.
But see, that's what I'm talking about. What you portray on the inside is always going to display on the outside, and that is the power of your presentation, like how you speak to people, how you treat people. Like T said, one of the biggest things that she did is she showed up and she wasn't empty-handed. That's another thing that resonated with this lady that was a housing provider. Like this lady was an actual housing provider.
She said, and we told them donut, like she spoke like T, her refreshing, and we told them donuts up. So she said it just like
wow. So I wasn't on the phone call, but I know we did do a we had a pre-conversation, T, the day that this all came up. And I'm going to kind of touch on some points that some people may not have even thought to talk about when somebody is trying to hand you over a business. One of the things I told T, and I don't know if y'all went into the conversation, because T, I was heading out with mom, and I knew that he was on the phone with you. So I'm texting him, ask about a P&L. Like I asked those questions.
We're all in on this, y'all.
Right.
Like Shay also don't want T to fail.
Exactly.
So she is hustling from 2 rooms away.
I am. Like Derek
making sure that we're getting all the questions in the case I missed something.
T, Derek was literally upstairs, and I was getting ready to go jump in the car to take mom to go finalize her TSA pre-check. So it was crazy, but I want to talk about that, because a lot of people think that partnerships or somebody handing over a business is a great thing. But if you don't ask the right questions to get the right information, to know how that business literally is set up and is already set and running, you may purchase something that's a draining well, right? Like that's just an empty bucket, and you don't want that. So some of the questions, let's talk about that conversation. Like, how did that go? Yeah. What did you all what did you ask? Did you ask the financial questions? Like, those are things that I want to know. So T, how did this conversation start today?
First it started with our pre-call. So me and Derek kind of talked about what we're going to say, how we're going to say it, how we're going to, go over the conversation. So it's like, okay, no problem. So, we gave her a call. So first she started off, she was kind of upset, about the house as well, right? So that was kind of good. So she was letting us know about her, grievances with the house, and we kind of have like a solution for her, which I love. So I introduced Derek, he kind of jumped in and he let her know, hey, we can do this for you. Also, he asked the financial question, how much people are in the house, how much money they're making, what's the issues with the house? Is it okay if we start next week? So all of those questions was, he asked, she answered them, and she was very, very excited just to say, hey, you guys can take over, so that made me was like really, really surprised and really, really happy for that.
So go ahead and ask your question, because then I want to ask another question.
And I want to say something, because guys, if you also notice, and T saying it without saying it, but guys, we're problem solvers. This was a problem for this lady.
Right.
She's very busy, and then she just got this huge promotion. And because T was so nice and brought them coffee and donuts, the lady felt led to trust T with this. And I'll be honest, because some of y'all thinking it, so I'm going to just say it. Because like T told y'all, like when she introduced me, I'll admit I took over 90% of this conversation, because that's how T told her this was going to happen. In other words, my business partner make all the decisions about all this stuff you're talking about. But at the end of it, I said, T and you now tie in the loose ends, because this is pretty much a done deal unless God tell us no. So I want you guys to figure out that also we're not just housing people. When T realized that she was being a solution, this was almost bigger than housing.
Yeah.
Guys, you don't walk in every day and somebody, I'm going to call it, give you a business.
Right.
That's literally what this lady's doing, y'all. So, and also in conversation, she let us know she got a big old heart and really don't know what she's doing. Right. So our process in terms of how we run it, because immediately when she began to speak, I say, and she said, Derek, I'm too nice. I said, well, ma'am, we ain't here today to talk about my program, but if you were under us, blah, blah, blah. I say, but listen, this is what we're going to do. And guys, when we hung up that call, she breathed easier. She was like, oh my God, you guys are a godsend. And the whole time we thinking, boy, God just blessed us. T, am I right about that?
Yes.
Wow.
So I'm going to give it to a shade. Last comment. I said, T, I gave T all of my advice, and trust me, I ain't gonna give y'all T masterclass right here, but I gave her all my advice. But I said, T, as your big brother now, This is an absolute no-brainer if God wanted. I said, if God is in this, which it look like he is, we all over this. I said, but T, you got your own relationship with God. Talk to God, pray. And T, if you feel that like that easiness about it, that's it. If you feel a restraint or she start calling back talking crazy, that's God talking us out of it.
Yeah.
But in terms of what me and you heard today, T, this sounds like a no-brainer to me.
The powerful thing about this too is that she's not wanting to I think it's going to be good. And this is just me because I wasn't on the call. But I think this is a good thing because right now she's actually transitioning to another position. And that one issue client can jeopardize where God has taken her in the corporate realm. So, being able to offset this particular house that's become more of a job for her is going to be a benefit to be able to alleviate that. The other thing I do want to talk about really quickly is on that call, did you guys gather a census or you just got numbers?
No, we got a census and everything. And what's cool too, Shay, I don't mean to skip over that one so fastly. She's also a provider. So she's the lady in the city that I teach y'all to go and find. So T has found the golden goose. And what a great lady. In fact, I wish she was on here tonight. Such a great lady, great spirit, great attitude. And T, if I'm lying, you call me a liar in the chat. Tell everybody I'm lying. Wow. That lady was so nice. So she was actually more appreciative for T taking her call than we were to get the call from her. And if you ask me, we were getting the deal.
And okay, so let's
like I'm getting chilled. Like,
you literally are.
Like you see him, like she was like, oh my God, I can't believe you guys are it.
So I would even ask this, right? So from that call,
she gonna fill this house.
From that call, what will you say are the things that have you where are you? What do you feel? What are you feeling so far from that phone call? Outside of excitement,
the world is listening, T, because I'm like this.
No, I want to say one, I'm grateful for God for this opportunity. 2, I'm happy for my coach. But 3, I'm also thinking, hopefully I can, do this, but I know with you guys that I can, So I'm thinking, okay, what's the first thing I would need to do? Hope that the people are going to be good because I know there's another step to it as well. You already told me what the next step is that I need to do. So I'm thinking, hopefully I'm up to the task, but I know you guys are going to help me with that. And, just go over there and, help take over and, start a new season with them over there. So
yeah,
absolutely. One of those next steps is like, and I'll even just kind of tell you guys, I'll give you some insight into T's coaching. I said, T, we're gonna go to that place and we're gonna assess everybody like this is day one.
Every last person.
And we're gonna go with the insight and telling these people, so to speak, hey guys, my name is T. And just to let you all know, no threat, but it's no guarantee any of y'all can still live here. This is under new management, and I'm going to interview all y'all. Now, my job is to make sure that you guys do have a place to live, and I want it to be here. But according to what this past landlord tells me in our own assessment here at the name of her company, which is what?
New Star Solutions.
Here at New Star Solutions, we have our own protocol, and we'll be interviewing you guys individually.
Correct.
Like, we're just not going to take over and give what this lady gave us. But I'll be honest, the way she explained it, everybody's good except one person.
Yeah.
So either T and I need to tighten up this one person or figure out their discharge plan.
Correct.
Because remember what we also teach y'all, the HRA, housing referral agent. Why can't T send her somewhere else that may be a better fit?
Absolutely.
It ain't all about kicking somebody out and putting some on the street. The devil is a liar.
Yeah.
Why can't we move that lady or show her this new regimen that's taken over? And this is how we do things. Now, ma'am, you either abide by this or we wish you the best of luck. So that's the next steps, guys. As I said, T, go and see this place. Because if it's a hellhole, we also ain't taking that. We don't want a place that got rats and roaches in it. We don't want troubled tenants, meaning you giving us a problem.
Right.
We don't want the guy that everybody live there, but nobody pay rent. The devil is a liar. We don't take over that place.
Correct.
And then one more caveat, and I'm done. This lady is also connected to the guy that's in the city that owned all the real estate.
That's why I was getting ready to go.
Y'all ever heard? Who here from Maryland that heard of that program that you can buy a house for $1, but maybe you got to put 80 grand into the property?
Right.
He's a part of that. We're partners now. T, you know how great it felt for me, even as your coach and your big brother, And I'll probably never meet this guy
like
way
Tiffany's
before you. He's
situation
my
too,
partner now. She said, Derek, you want me to introduce him to y'all? Yes, ma'am. Like, absolutely. So he's the real estate plug. So I said, ma'am, hold it. You rented this house, right? This is not your house. She said, no, own it. Y'all, here's another caveat. She says, oh, the landlord kind of already talked to him. He loves this idea, what we do. He'll have no problem with my sister T. See how we all just became family on one phone call?
So listen. So here's what I know.
You can't make this up, T.
I'm gonna make T nervous and kind of
Jory, are you listening to this, Jory?
I'm gonna make T nervous, but I'm gonna make her excited at the same time. T, you literally have a house that's running, and you would immediately need a second place because the location that she's handing over is pretty much full, right? Is that capacity?
I think it was 4 people in it.
Okay, and so it's a what? It's a what is it? How many
if
beds?
You can remind us about the bed count.
5.
5.
So see, you still, oh man. So you still could, you still got a little time before you have to go into that
And also what's really cool, I say, well, ma'am, and trust me, guys, I'm gonna end this story soon because I don't want to bore y'all or give all the tea sauce. But I say, ma'am, like, what do you expect from us? Like, when do you want, in a perfect world, would you want T? Notice I never put me in it. I say, in a perfect world, when would you want T to take over?
Right.
She said, if y'all want to take over tomorrow, come get the keys.
That's what she said.
These people ain't listening, T.
The
lady said, if y'all want this place tomorrow, come get the keys. And not only will I keep feeling it, she says, don't buy nothing in your city, furniture, beds, until you talk to me, because I got all kind of resources. She said, T, don't buy nothing. T, am I lying?
No, you're not lying.
Guys, this is what the one-on-one coaching looks like. With T say, hey, let's have a call on Monday, and me and my business partner would let you know what's up.
I'm mad I missed this call.
This was an absolute great call.
I'm in my feelings that I missed this call.
And she is the lady in her city that controls all the housing. So that's the other good genius part to all of this.
But let me show you again, T. Like I said, I'm gonna go back to that whole process. So,
Nanette, are you listening to this? And me and you met today for your first coaching? Oh Lord, Nanette.
So what I do want is this, like setting up, preparing before this actually happens. I would put her on ice for a little bit. Yeah, I would say, yes, we're gonna do it. Do your due diligence, right? I would again go deeper into I would ask, like, is everybody paying rent?
Everybody paying rent.
Wow.
Man, we just got one person that, according to her, it's just not her cup of tea. Now, remember, this lady is on the no coaching. And she said, Derek, I got a big heart. I just like helping people. I'm doing God's will. And in a nice way, she said, bro, I know what I'm doing, but I'm so in my job. This one house, Derek, I got to get rid of it. And it's really only because of this one lady, and Derek, because of the promotion. She says, I'm going to be in charge of so much now in my city. Like, she's going to be the chief of staff over all of that stuff. When the people got the big labels, she's the chief over all of that now. Yeah. So she don't want this headache. Right. She was honest too. She said, now y'all, I'll be honest. I got 2 more houses that run like clockwork, and they're all older people. She said, now them don't bother me. Y'all can't have that one. She was honest, y'all. See, am I lying about that?
But that,
right, T?
Yeah, she was.
I think that gives you an extra advantage too, because she's in the place of desperation, right? T, you're not. And this is a perfect opportunity because she
just said a big point.
Yeah, you're not desperate.
She's not the one that's desperate.
So now you can you cannot manipulate, but you can literally play this game by your rules. You can say, listen, can we do it this way? Like, oh, I got so many ideas. You can literally leverage her being the pocket of this thing for the first 90 days. And you literally, or 30 days, you can say, let's take this. Look, I'll oversee the property for 30 days. Get it stabilized, right? We'll have it all put in writing. And you don't take over none of the overhead until you've gotten rid of the problem. Okay. Are you hearing what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Got it. Yeah.
So now you can actually walk through that process literally without it costing you the overhead of the property. You can actually run this property for 30 days, and see what this individual's issues are. You can literally kind of figure out if it's should we stay or should we go, and start preparing the paperwork if we got to go that route. And the blessing about this, like I said, you're not in a rush.
Yeah.
You can literally tell this lady, I want to do 30 days due diligence. I want to get to know the residents. I want to do my own assessment. Drag it out, because you again are not the one that's in a pickle. She is. So there's a lot of ways. Oh, we got to talk. Oh my goodness. Like I wish I was on that phone call to hear more, because I could draft up a better plan. Right? I don't want T taking this house over on December 1st if she doesn't have to, because taking it over means collecting the rent, paying all the bills, transitioning all of the utilities over, all of that. You want to see like T. I'm gonna give a masterclass. Hold on.
Now, I'll admit, where she's going, I'd probably be a little bit split on this, and this just goes to show the one-on-one coaching and how we together. But if I'm hearing what she's saying, I don't know if I would go that route. Because the way I view it is that we got probably 12 days before the first. I can do my due diligence in these 12.
But
view these people, check this lady out. So, not saying that Shay's idea would be wrong. We're just going to show you two perspectives.
That's all.
So, do you want to go there tonight with those two perspectives?
Yeah, and then we can wrap it up.
Let's do it.
That.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Here's one perspective. Shay, go ahead.
So my perspective is this. For me as an entrepreneur that is literally getting the keys to some or taking over someone's entire business, I want to get as much of my due diligence done as possible. They're in a weather shift. So weather has changed, right? What do utilities look like from the last 3 months? You're now getting into your colder month. I would like to see what the month of December looks like with the number of people without it having to come out of profits if I have a profit, right? I also want to see 3 months of her prior utilities so that I can start gauging what it's going to take.
And if I remember, and if I'm wrong, Tia, remind me, this house is only 2 months old from her other ones. I think this house, she's only had it 2 months because we asked her about some of that stuff.
Perfect. That's perfect. That's great to make a decision, right? Because now you're getting insight on what her utilities are, what's the overhead, right? And don't just take it as hearsay. Get the proof, because you're at a point now. Once again, she's desperate. You're not. And then guess what else she gave you before you even gave her a yay or nay? Access to the man that has all the houses. Come on. And that's why I say I would put it in writing. I would say, this is how I would like to do this handoff, so that so for one, I have all of the information I need to make an informed decision, right? I want to come in. I want to do my assessment on every individual. I want to know like what has been the issues. Like I want her to chronologically identify the issues with the troubled client, because that's going to benefit T in the process of eviction or removal.
So in other words, Shay, you're saying that your launch date wouldn't be December, it'll be January. Okay.
Yep. My launch date right now, it will be still a soft launch, but I'm talking about acquiring all of
and
the
then
everything.
Also with the other lady collecting rent that's coming up on the first, that doesn't go to T.
Correct. And I would do it because this
I love this actually.
This is actually
my perspective is going to be a little bit different, but I think it's going to fit two groups of people. So keep listening, guys.
Yeah, it's an easy learning perspective, because T doesn't know what she's going to have to take out, like what she's going to have to put out in deposits or anything like that, like lights, water, all that stuff. That lady's not going to keep that stuff in her name. And I know y'all have heat that's different. You know, y'all, heat is different from lights and water, like everything may be separate. So now we're looking at a way for T to kind of cushion herself before taking that leap, while getting to know the residents and literally enforcing her rules, her regulations and stuff like that. So she can be the boots on the ground for the next 30 days with it starting in the new year. So now T doesn't have to worry about, listen to what I'm saying, T doesn't have to worry about a huge taxable or anything taxable on this business for the year of 2025. She can now start doing all of her stuff that she needs to do from a financial standpoint in 2026. I messed y'all up.
Okay.
So do you see what I'm saying?
I love this. Put a number 1 in the chat if you already, because I'll just tell you, I'm going to be a little bit different.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to be a right now theme. So put a number 1 in the chat so far. If you say already, Derek, before I even hear your big mouth, bro, I'm with Shay. Derek, I don't want this thing on the first either. I want it probably in January 1 to give me time to do a lot of that stuff. And I'll admit, guys,
due diligence.
This right here, what Shay just said, is, how can I say it? This is oftentimes for us the better decision, because my problem is sometimes I do jump out too fast on certain stuff.
Yeah.
So Shay's perspective that she just gave, and that's why I said this is actually going to fit two groups of people.
Yeah.
One more time, put a number 1 in the chat. If you was given this opportunity, oh, I love this actually. This is so genius. Who would choose number 1 already before even hearing me? Because you know that you will need the time, and you want to make sure that all of the, I'm going to use the word due diligence, is done. Put a number 1 in the chat. And so far, I only see 1, 3. Devonsha Clark, who's also Shay. Jermaine Mills, who also got started really fast under the DIY. So I'll admit I'm a little shocked. Jermaine's, but this is also not a right or wrong, y'all.
It's
Please.
No.
In fact, this should be about 50-50.
Correct.
So I'm gonna give it 2 more seconds,
and
then I'm gonna jump in.
A lot of people just don't understand the concept too, right?
Exactly. Rhonda said 1.
So I'm gonna say this too, right? So you're looking at, so I want to look at this from 2 perspectives. From a corporate or corporation perspective, if you are going to purchase another business, it normally takes about 90 days to about 6 months to do that transaction, because accountant in there analyzing the books. You've got people in there looking at the SOPs, all of the departments, how they're configured, what all of that stuff is happening in the background as they're acquiring during the acquisition process. So this is why I want T to get in the mindset, and everybody that hears me under the sound of my voice, to get in the mindset of running an actual business, right? This is an actual business. And if you go into this as a regular, normal transaction, you have the ability to fail. And what we don't want is, we want a soft handoff for T, because what you don't know is if somebody's going to get fight or flight mode, and they see another person coming in to acquire this property and want to leave because it's not the person that they're used to. So now you're giving them 30 days to get accustomed to T, get accustomed to how she runs things. Technically, this is her house. It's just not on, it's on paper, but she's just not footing the bill. So that's why I'm saying, give her that 30-day time frame to literally create and establish. You now are establishing your rules, your program, your processes without taking the financial hit. And that's going to be the part, because like I said, if this lady's running this house loosey-goosey, when T comes in and says, hey, here's my rule book, here's my release of liability, hey, I'm about to install cameras. Like, these are the things that we don't know. Did we ask that question? Are there cameras in the house?
We didn't ask that. No.
My point exactly.
Yep.
Somebody comes in and sees T now installing cameras, they get big eye.
Yep.
Somebody comes in and T says, listen, my rule is no company, I'm out. So now T is not taking that financial hit in the second month of acquisition. So now she can now say, hey, I'm going to see if this is a right group for me, or do I need to go holler at Mr. Landlord and do what it do?
From scratch. Yep.
So that's why I say it is the process of acquisition when you are purchasing a business in general. You are always going to look underneath the hood to make sure it is the appropriate setup for you. So that's why I land there, because I want T to look at it from a business perspective, because in the future, what if she decides to sell an ILF or hand over her ILF to somebody else, right? Now she can actually, navigate. Or if somebody else wants to do the same thing and say, hey, well, I heard you did X, Y, and Z for what's her face. Can you do it for me? Now the process, T is comfortable with that process. And again, T's not in distress. T is not in distress. And she's even more put you back in the chair, because guess what? She's got the phone number for the landlord that loves the concept.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, take your time.
That's why I love this topic, because
put your back in the chair.
This is one of those things, guys, under my coaching. I'm going to give you a lot of things to say. We do it this way and no other way. Yeah. But some things are going to be, there is no right or wrong. This what we're discussing right now.
No right or wrong, but there's a better process.
So what I want to do is I want to take a quick commercial break, and I'm going to give you guys my take on probably what I would do. We'll be right back. Hey, what's going on, family? Please make sure that you watch our webinar, which is the first step to getting started. So just text the phrase more info, MOREINFO, to the phone number 407-326-0086. Don't type it in the chat. Don't put it below. Text it to that phone number. That way you get that free webinar, but also it leads to a discovery call with me and my team to see how we can get you started. So again, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, this is it. Show me anything else to where you can make such an impact in your community, serve God, but also make a bunch of money doing it. We don't hide that. We want to make a lot of money doing what this is so that we can extend our hand in the community and continue to be the answer to affordable housing. Text more info to 407-326-0086, and we'll see you on the other side of success. Let's get back to the show.
All right, it's your turn.
All right, we are back, and you heard the guy. Make sure that you guys text the phrase more info to that phone number scrolling below. That way you get our introductory webinar and also a free discovery call to see how can we get you started. So my perspective would be this, y'all.
Okay.
I would have the kind of the same process that Shay talked about, but I'm not using the extra 30 days to do it. I'm doing this tomorrow. Meaning, if that lady allowed me to go to this place tomorrow to interview these people, and especially under the coaching that she has, if T was somebody that was lazy and not doing the work, I say, T, you ain't. Keep in mind this whole aspect that I'm getting ready to come from. Keep in mind that T is moving at the speed of instruction. She's following the coaching, and she ain't lazy. And she's already getting the calls and having all of these meetings.
Yeah.
So for me, the day is what, the 17th? Can somebody put in the chat how many days left until the 31st? Was that like what, 12 days, 10 days? I don't know, but looks like that we got about probably what, 12 or 13 days before for the first. My due diligence starts now.
That's a quick turnaround.
And also what makes me feel good about this situation, the lady that's also doing this controls all the housing in her city. She's also over the case management department for even the one lady that she kind of don't like, that ain't her cup of tea. We gonna work through the case manager to get her replaced. So with all of the things that are in place, it's hard for me to say no to this one. And most of y'all, watch this, and remember what Shay said before I say this next statement. Most of y'all are so ready to get in this, you wouldn't even think twice about this and you would jump on it.
Yeah.
Sad part is, not y'all that's listening, but your neighbor behind you, most of y'all don't put in the work like T is doing to make this happen.
Correct.
So I would tell you no anyway. Where T is in terms of doing this and gaining all of this attention, having all of these meetings, and now got the plug in her city wrapped around her finger. To me, unless God says no to this, this is an absolute no-brainer for me, and I'm getting into this right now.
Yeah.
But watch this. I'm married. T ain't. T is gonna answer to God, and pretty much that's it. And she got a team now too, right? But she's the head of that team. With me is God, my wife, mom. I got a lot of people around me. Correct. So if they feel like I'm moving too fast, they gonna pull the reins. What I like about Shay's point is that T is kind of, I won't say not in a rush. T want a house like yesterday. So don't let T fool y'all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, T? But this lady is also in distress. I coach a whole other thing in real estate where it talks about when the owner is under distress. That's where the deal comes in.
That's where the deal comes in.
But with this one, the deal is kind of already there.
Yeah.
This one just requires more time of due diligence. And I agree with Shay. I want to go interview everybody, find out who paying rent, who not. Is the place nice? Is it a piece of junk? What kind of clients are these?
Yeah.
Will they understand my camera system, my rules? Because when I'm going to go tell these guys, hey, y'all don't know me, but my name T. I'm taking this place over in 2 weeks. And I just want to interview all y'all because some of y'all may like my rules and some of y'all may hate them. Yeah. So if you don't like them, I'm telling y'all that y'all got 15 days to go find you a place to live. That's my approach to this situation. And even before I finish, put a number 2 in the chat. If you say, Derek, I ain't gonna lie, bro, that thing Shay said is nice, but I'm going with your route. Put a number 2 in the chat.
Yeah.
Because I told you from the beginning, to me, neither one of these are wrong. Choice number 2 is going to be wrong for the person that's not fit to do it. Correct. Meaning you really don't know what you're doing. You don't have the coaching, because this is different from me just teaching you how to do it. You're doing a business transaction where you're taking over a whole business.
Correct.
Guys, that's different. That's called acquisition. So that's why I laid out with, please believe me, guys. What Shay just said, probably most of y'all need to take that route.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? But I'll just admit, and I ain't just saying this because T on stage, because if she wasn't ready, I'd say that too in a real nice way.
Oh,
I said, y'all, you know, my sister T, y'all, she got a big heart and she ready, but you know, in due time. Yeah. And then I would give the part about what Shay said about the ladies the one in dire distress. But I'm gonna be real with y'all. I've been coaching this a long time now. What I see from T and the work she's putting in and all these calls, people saying, well, when you gonna get the house? Because we ready to send the people.
See, this is
everybody been saying that, but now we got the lady in the city that owned the whole thing when it comes to housing, folks.
So let me
unless God say no, this is a no-brainer for me. Put a number 2 in the chat if you on my side. Back on you, Shay.
So I wanna ask.
Then we gonna get T side.
No, I want to ask.
How many y'all want to hear T side?
Because I'm gonna absolutely, because I'm gonna throw it to T next. But here's what I want y'all to think about too with this, right? So if we allow this lady to take the overhead that's in the house now, and T now, because T's phone's already ringing.
It's ringing. Off the hook.
With the addition of that out again, everybody I place, that's my rent.
Absolutely.
I'm talking about starting now.
Yeah,
like starting now.
Absolutely.
So then again, like I said, it's still T's house. She's just not footing all of the bills. And that's the part that I want T to get comfortable. Like, that's why I would choose this route, because right now we don't have a full picture of the finances. We don't know how much she's coming out of pocket every month because the house isn't filled. And she didn't have your coaching to know that, hey, you need to make sure that 2 people pay the rent, right? She doesn't know that. So we don't know where she's lapsing in this. So that's why I say, you know, yes, we've got 12. How many days?
Did anybody put in the chat how many days it was left?
How many days is left in this year, in this month?
Let me bring out my calculator because they ain't helping us tonight. Because they're so intrigued about the conversation.
They can't even
so
move.
far, only one person said that they would go with my route. And that's why I said this wasn't about right or wrong tonight. We just wanted to see what y'all opinions was, because I truly believe that especially if you're not a go-getter, Shay's route gonna be best for probably 85 to 90% of y'all.
Oh, absolutely.
It's gonna be about 10%. I said, man, what are we waiting on? Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, this is what we've been praying for.
So T, so now that you've heard both of our opinions, what are your thoughts? Like, what if you I hate to do this to you after you've heard our opinions. I wish I would have did this. We did. So tell me your thoughts on hearing what we both had to say, but before hearing what we had to say, what was in your mind to do without hearing what we just said?
At first I'm like, let's go. I'm ready to get this house. You know, that's what I was ready to do. But now listening to you, Shay, I'm on your side.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why I'm on your side is because Derek, I don't know if you remember, she said, I can fill this house up and I can fill any other house up that you guys have. So if anything happened within those 30 days, anybody leave, she's more than willing to help us fill the house up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it's 13 days left in this month.
Hey,
right.
Miss Sandra.
And I love the fact that she said that, but I'm gonna be honest. Don't take it at face value. Oh yeah, because you know you always because you're already building those other relationships.
I can see you all these people. Everybody do scream that.
So like I said, my thing is I just want T to go in fiscally responsibly.
Yes,
and that's the biggest thing for me is fiscal responsibility. And T, you won't believe this. Like I literally went out with mom to go do something and took a phone call from somebody that I coach that they don't pay me a dime. And can I tell you, I left where we were at with a headache. Mm-hmm. Because this is the issue they're having. They're not fiscally responsible in their business. And then they're calling, not saying that they're calling me for help, but I'm trying to impart wisdom from a perspective of don't bite off more than you can chew in a business when you're not really positioning yourself. You're not positioned to do so. Now, this is a great idea for somebody that already has 2 houses to jump in like now, because they can float funds from one house to the other. Right? One business, multiple houses. So you can now float your finances between those 3 houses, or this new house making it number 3. In this sense, I want to make sure without a shadow of a doubt what is lacking every month. And if she's had the ability to fill these houses and she's had it for 2 months, why is it not full? The church is mighty quiet.
Oh,
right?
you want me to comment?
I'm just saying, but like, you see what I'm saying? If she's got the capacity and the capability to fill these houses, and she's had this one location for 2 months, why is it not full? What is the
of that one person? Let her tell it.
No, I don't think it's that.
No. Trust me, I'm not trying to make no excuses for her, because remember, T is gonna put in the work to fill this house, whether she's got this lady or not.
Right.
So y'all don't get that twisted either.
Yeah.
A part of this is T building the relationship. This lady was gonna be a part of that. She just happened to have had a house that she want to get rid of.
Yeah.
so
yeah, but I
love
would
it
say
that
this.
T even also rethought it after she heard what this was. How many of you also would agree again now that choice number one may be the best fit? Put in the chat again, choice number one or choice number two.
I'm gonna put in the chat choice number one, because I want to make sure, like, prime example, I don't want you to take a loss in your first year of business, because of 1 month.
Yeah.
Like that'd be not too smart,
and
right?
We also will make sure that the math works too. So just for extra culture for you outside folks, guys, if T does her math on this in terms of what they're paying for these clients in that area don't add up to pay that rent, we ain't doing it anyway. So step number one is that the math has the math. It's got to make sense. And if I remember, the math was $2,500, right?
Was the overhead.
And was that a 5-bedroom, T?
She didn't say. I think it was a 5-bedroom, but it's 3-level home.
Right. Got it. Okay. Got it. So
here would be So here will be Shay's takeaways from this, and T will go deeper in this conversation throughout this week. But I really want you to take time with this. One of the biggest questions for me would be, can you give me what you've paid? What have been the utilities since you've acquired the property? On month one, how many residents did you have in the property that reflected these utility bills? Month two, the same thing. What?
She also said something that I remember too. She gave I'll call it a forecasting. She said when it's full at where it should be, it should bring in 4,200. So I think if I remember that correctly, did you have that as a note?
I have it on my note here. Yeah, you're correct.
So this is something that I often do during my coaching, and we can do it here really quickly because everybody's got a different price point of where you think your profit should be. Some people do this all day and make $5. Some people say, Derek, I ain't touching it unless I can make $2,000 in a house.
Right.
So right there, just hearing that, if she said, what is it, 42 or 45?
42.
Let's do 42 minus 2,500.
Right, because
and that's without lights and water and insurance and all of that.
Let's
gross? Play with that number real quick.
That was gross.
That was gross. Correct. Yeah. I'm assuming because another thing was that because this conversation will go further with this person, y'all.
100%.
She had a different section of this same house, y'all, that she kind of called. I'll just call it a safe place. She's connected to a program that house people for $300. They pay for it and they stay for 30 days until they're found with that case management to get their own, I'll call SSI or SSDI check. I thought that was also pretty cool, but I didn't know how that worked with her numbers, with the census. So guys, this also isn't a one conversation deal.
Yeah.
There's more conversations that will happen before we make an ultimate decision. Because one more time, if the numbers don't make sense, forget about the fact that she just given us a house.
So can you see why I said this is why I said you got to take into account that Thanksgiving's coming. Yeah. You've got to take into account that people are going to be traveling. There's a lot of things happening in the next 13, whatever that was, days. Mm-hmm. So to acquire this property right now will be premature from a business perspective. Hear me not as the ILF coach, but hear me as a master degree business consultant. Okay. With experience in business management, acquisition, project management, all of that. This is what I want you to listen to in this. This will be a crazy acquisition for this right now in this month, without having all of the finite details to run this process through, right? Again, we're talking about gross acquisition, gross accounting based on the heads per bed, without the understanding of that other portion of the house that is, that $300 per month for each individual, whatever. We don't know how big that area is, how many people that area can hold. Those things are the questions that you want to ask in that. The other thing I would also look at, I'm going to go back to utilities again, right? Mm-hmm. Asking questions about utilities. I want to know if this guy did a full rehab, like what are we seeing in regards, were there new windows put in? Like, has it been re-insulated? When was this house built? Because now that's going to impact your utilities. And we're getting ready to get into you guys' true winter months, and you're not like Florida where like we're still warm, right? I mean, they're still wearing shorts. Like, let's be real, right? My ladies had on the AC for 2 days, and then text me talking about, all right, now that Florida winter is over, can we put the AC back on? Right. So this is a little bit different in this. So I want you all to take into account where you're located, what's happening with your seasons, and then getting to know these residents as well, and finding out the problem, the problem with the problematic resident, right? Because if those other things, like, how has she run this program? And I think that's the time you spend in this month to make sure that you're acquiring something that's going to bless you and not break you. That is going to be the biggest thing for me, T, is really walking you through a process that's secure, that is concrete, to make sure that you're making the appropriate and the right decision, right? I want to make sure you want to make the
decision.
Yeah.
And that's why you even told T before we hung up, I said, T, of course, as your coach and your family, I'm going to be praying. But T, you got your own personal relationship with God. God is speaking to you about how you should move. Our job as the coaches is to guide and give, like with this one, is to give perspective.
Correct.
And because when me and you spoke, you was probably ready to go. But look how you heard what Shay said, and you was like, you know what? Like Nanette said in the chat, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it allows you to slow down. And for me, as a Scorpio and as a man that's always on go, this is my sounding board, and the person that goes, hold on, Derek.
Sometimes I have to call in the reinforcements team.
Sometimes I just,
sometimes I have to call in mama and be like, Mama, I need you to help me.
Let me give a huge compliment. This year's success,
very well
in terms life went, I'm accredited a lot to her, because remember those 18 months we told you guys about the way we felt like we was going through pure hell? Some of those things were decisions I made, guys. Some of them were together, but some of them as the head, I said, babe, we should be doing this. Every idea doesn't always work out. Now, if you look at me today, I look like a dadgum genius. But those 18 months are like everything I put my hands on didn't work.
Yeah.
So that taught us, and Shay said, baby, this is our slow down season. We got to slow down, digest, get rid of a bunch of debt, and get our focus back. And Derek, let's not move on something as soon as you get the dadgum idea before we formulate it. So T, that's me. And I'm honest like that as y'all coach. But as your big brother and your sister who gonna surely, and women are usually like this actually. Now, Jermaine was the only guy I think I saw that said, Derek, no, I'm going with Shay. Most us guys, we're going because we're breadwinners. Get it. But sometimes you need that lady, and Jermaine don't know it. We praying for you, a good lady too. So if you single, or if you're a lady under my coaching, we want you to have a good boo. Because I don't want you to always do this by yourself.
Correct.
Now, I ain't gonna ask T tonight, and y'all ain't gonna get in her business. But if T don't got one, we praying for her too. Because most of the time, not jokingly, if you do come to me under us as a lady, I do ask, who are you doing this with?
Correct.
Not to get in your business, but to make sure I'm coaching you the right way about who you should be housing. Because if you got a boyfriend or a boo thing or a husband, my opinion may be different. But if it's just you and your sister, you and your mama, I'm going to coach you a little bit different because I want you to be careful. So I hope that makes sense. Shay,
so T, so tell me, okay, before you came to this decision, what were you thinking? I want to, Nanette wants to want to hear it. And so I want to know, like,
still want to hear your,
so tell us what, tell us, T, what was your, excuse me, before this conversation, tell me what was your what did you feel?
Like I said, I was excited. I was ready to go. I was ready for my first house. I was like, okay, this is it. Especially I was, I had an issue with the landlord that I messed up. I'll talk about that another time. But I was like, okay, that door closed for me. I was like, maybe this is a door that's opening. So I'm just really, really excited. And even if like I said, this house doesn't pan out, I know I can build a relationship with her and we can, do other stuff together if it doesn't. But I'm really, really excited to keep building.
Yeah. So,
and what I love about it, she's not going anywhere.
No.
And that's Shane's other point. Like, what's the rush when this lady's going nowhere and rent coming in 13 days?
Right.
So she want to collect that. And that, like Shay said, that gives you that extra 30 days on top of your 13.
Yeah. So that's why I said it just makes sense to take your time. Right. slow decisions, better acquisitions. We don't always like a lot of times we moved and I'm talking better acquisitions because you want to make sure that you're dotting all your I's, crossing all of your T's. And from previous seasons for us, I noticed how we made slower decisions. Our outcomes would have been better, right? I think we could have made higher profit margins. We could have met higher profit margins in certain things. Had we not been so quick to just make that decision and bounce into something else. And then I look at it from prior, projects and stuff that I've done in the past in corporate that, when you take a minute to count the cost, and that's biblical. We are to count the cost. And in all things, right?
Yes, ma'am.
If we count the cost, we want to make sure that we are not putting ourselves in a position to impoverish ourselves because something looks good and it's a shiny object, right? We don't want to get shiny object syndrome. Yes, this lady is very forthcoming in everything that she stated, in everything that she wants you to know. But now I think it's important that you say, hey, can we do this for 30 days? I would love to partner with you and make this a smoother transition. So now you're making the transition easier for the residents as well as her and yourself. Because what you don't want to do is come in on this month, right? Not really have everything ironed out. All of her residents leave and y'all ain't discussed the handoff in rent, in lights, in water, in heat, like in none of that stuff. And then now it's everybody's looking like this. And now we've tarnished a relationship with the landlord. So you've got to make sure that this transaction and this acquisition meets everybody's
and we definitely talked about outcome. That too. So I don't want you guys that are listening to think that wasn't spoken of. That was one of the highlights actually, is that she was going to introduce us personally to the landlord and do that smooth handoff. Because I say now in a perfect world, what about lights and water? And she said, no, we change all that over and no problem.
Right.
But again, I'm still saying that 85 to 90% of you guys that are listening to this, the choice that Shay mentioned is for you. That other small 5 to 10% is going to be the God say, Derek, that sounds great, but I'm telling you to go. And that's going to be between God and T. Like, I don't know that. T sounded like she's going to go with this. But what if we hang up and God say, T, that was great what Derek and Shay said, but I'm calling you to go right now because this is it. Then her job is to override everything that we just said and keep coaching her along the way. Because one thing about it, Shay and I don't go away. Number 5 in the chat, you see how Shay balanced things out.
Yeah, right. You can do it.
Women are really good at that, and some of us men don't give y'all credit. But you guys are really good at smoothing things out, especially when it feels like we're moving too fast. So
So I want to say this, T. In this again, start writing down your questions, and what this acquisition looks like, and then we'll discuss. Even where we're going to be out. But we can take time because I really want us to solidify this before the holidays to where we have some type of documented, whether it's an agreement or a conversation again, to kind of run this idea past the lady that runs this house now. So that way if let's say she comes back, like there's always going to be that counter, right? We've got to make space for a counter.
And also I want to jump in for 2 seconds. What we haven't mentioned, but we absolutely talked about, because somebody should be thinking it, because if you're not, you slipping.
Yeah.
None of this is just a conversation or a handshake. This all goes on the paperwork, y'all.
Correct. Contract.
If T don't get a contract with this lady, we ain't doing this also. So this is not just a conversation. Say, yep, take it over. I'll see you later. No. Like, her job is to go back and say, hey, my business partner loves this, but he real crazy about paperwork, and he been sued before. And we read it, but we got to have paperwork.
Correct.
Because he don't move without the paperwork. Paperwork makes the paperwork. Make sense? Paperwork makes the paper work.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a great place to put a pin in it. T, I want you to introduce yourself to people one more time. Tell them who you are. But this time, T, a little differently. Tell them where can they find you on social media. Because T, you better be doing social media. If not, you can embarrass me. Tell them where can they find you on social media. And this ain't for her to coach y'all. She gonna lead y'all right to us. But I just want y'all to see the work that she's putting in. So T, tell the people 100%. One more time. And T, again, like you did last time so eloquently, encourage anybody that's thinking about getting started and just speak to moving forward and why all of this is happening to you. A lot of, because again, God and the culture, in my opinion, on UT.
Again, my name is T. Sims. I'm located in the Baltimore, Maryland area. My company is New Star Solution, and you can find me on Instagram at Your New Star Solutions. You can find me in the Facebook group, or my personal is MSSS_TEE. But usually you just find me with my business name. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm everywhere. So you guys can find me there.
Love it.
But just to say, again, for the coaching, to me, like I said, this won't be happening if it wasn't for the coaching. I wouldn't know, like I said, what to say, what to do. I'm calling, I'm texting you like, hey, what should I say? What should I do? I'm introducing you. This wouldn't happen without you being there every step of the way. So, if anybody's thinking about it, even though, everything else looked good, this is the number one spot right here. So, but I'm really, really glad that, I did find you guys on YouTube. I'm really glad that I got the coaching, because I feel like it is changing my life. I'm looking at this as a whole. My vision is getting a little bit bigger. I just want to say, hey, make a little money, help my community. But now my vision is I can help as much people as possible. I had 2 people who called me today, and I wish I had a house because I didn't have anywhere to place them.
So I'm going to stop you right there. You do have a house. You just haven't acquired it. So now, like, we've got to talk, because we've got to do that. So go ahead. Sorry, I just had to interject.
Yeah, it's coming. So like I said, my vision is bigger. Just I can impact a lot of people in this community, and I wouldn't do that without you guys and without the training. And I've seen people doing it the wrong way. I kind of seen that now. So we start here. You're learning how to do it the right way. You're gonna hold your hand every step of the way.
So T, someone asked, which plan did you get?
I got the one-on-one coaching with Derek. That's the plan. I think that's the only plan, actually. Really. That's
Well, Jermaine Mills will have something to say about that.
Right.
But the DIY is great, but T sounds like she's like some of us that said, no, I want the one-on-one. So T, talk about that if you want to, and I'll give it back to Shay.
Yeah, for me, I know with Jermaine, he's probably a little different, but I want to be able to call you, to text you. And especially when I'm starting like a new venture, I'm kind of scared. I don't know, what I'm doing, and I don't want to mess it up. So I'd rather follow somebody who's successful and follow in their footsteps. And I have a way to call you and text you to ask you questions. So I know I'm not going to mess anything up. And you guys say you guys done it, so I know I can do that as well.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Another thing that sticks out to me about T, and everybody just, I guess, can't be this because that's a personality thing, but T's not shy. Even though she tells y'all she is, there is no way that she's going to all of these places, calling us all the time, being on live with us on screen.
Yeah.
Now, T, you don't know this, but most people don't make my screen until they're under us about 6 months to a year.
T
met us almost 2 weeks ago, y'all. They're going to be featured every other week, probably.
T doing the most.
Because T, you also don't know this, but a lot of people are texting and calling and saying, man, that girl T, what an inspiration there. Thank you for allowing her to be on there. So T, we laugh and joke and play all the time, but thank you for sharing your story, because it's helping somebody make a decision. So Shay, back on you, and we'll begin to close people out.
So do T has another house, or this would be T's first house, Nanette? Yeah, this would be T's first house. Yeah. And she's doing, like, she's literally putting in a lot of the work. Yeah. With a job. So she is employed. She uses her lunch breaks. She uses her time away from the office to be able to get out there and do something. So there's no excuses with T. There's no excuses. But tonight literally was brought to you all by Digital Flow Solutions. If you missed last night's live demo, you have to get back on the schedule for our next one. But again, I want to talk, just say this and encourage those that heard this conversation tonight. This conversation is showing you the many facets of getting into this ILF space. How many avenues and how many doors can open. And if you do not have the right coach or consultant to walk you through the process, you can really be left handed, like literally mishandling the bag, and causing yourself to be in more distress and despair than being able to be a profitable business owner, entrepreneur. Tonight's conversation is not one that we normally have on a platform like this, because it was so much. And for those of you that are IMB talk, this is definitely ILF Mastery Blueprint family talk that we talk about. But we wanted to have what it looks like when you move at the speed of instruction, and also when you're actually making the right connections and you're showing up the way we tell you to show up. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna have to be real blunt. I told Derek we're gonna have to send out this. I'm putting people on notice tonight, literally. So a lot of people are out there using the independent living facility name and trying to make it the likeness to teach and train to train people in this housing model. Please be leery and be careful. We are the trademark holders for the independent living facility education and consulting model. Okay. And I hate to say it, but I'm going to be real and say it. We've got our attorneys are working. There are about 21 cease and assist that are going out before the end of the year to those that are utilizing the term that they train or coach or consult in independent living facilities. Okay. Or independent living housing, anything that is even close to that
especially
statement.
Using our verbiage. Like,
that's even, and I'm putting a lot of people on notice. I told Derek,
this is my nice way of saying it.
This is my nice way of saying it.
Stop using the term independent living facility and call yourself coaching it.
Yeah.
Guys, just call it something else. Prime example, I'm a nice guy. I'll give you something. Let's just say, and watch how good I am at this. I was just thinking this randomly. Call it SSH, super safe housing, and you brand it, trademark it. Guys, I'm a business coach. I'll give you an idea. If you want to start copying me teaching this, just don't call it ILF or independent living facility.
Correct.
See how quick I thought of that? Safe, supportive housing, SSH.
Correct.
Think of anything but ILF, and that's our gentle warning. Because the sad part about it, y'all, we're seeing people that's call themselves teaching it, and they putting beds in the kitchen, putting 3 bunk beds on top of each other, housing people in rats and roaches. So no different from you guys can't go start a burger company and call it Burger King.
Correct.
You're gonna get in trouble.
Like,
and that's what we're doing.
I'm gonna say this, and this will be the young lady's social media, and it bothered me so much because she actually utilized her in-home cameras and posted not a distress but a removal via police or medical. I couldn't make out the difference. That is not what we do. This is one of the reasons why our governments end up stepping in and making things a lot more harder to do, which then makes it harder for individuals that need help to get help. So this is why we're taking this thing to that place with the cease and desist and lawsuits to those that will not stop. We're at that point now where we cannot allow for any more people to be harmed, whether it's the coaching clients that are being taken advantage of financially for monetary gain in teaching something that you don't have any clue about and you're doing it the wrong way. And secondly, harming those that you're housing and exploiting their every move on your social media platforms. I mean, we have our people sign disclosures, but I'm not going there and throwing a camera in their face. We're supposed to be providing them camera
sometimes
because we're
especially inappropriate stuff that what we've been seeing.
Yeah, like we've already, like, guys, I'm gonna be very honest. A few years ago, we had several houses shut down here in Florida because of that. A whole housing program decided that they were going to start a YouTube channel based off of the issues with their residents.
Like, that's crazy.
And when we found out about it, we got them completely shut down. So please know that when it comes to doing what we're doing, we're not doing it for the likes. We're not doing it for clicks. We're not doing it for the money. We're doing it to save souls. And for those of you that hear me today, and I'll have the team cut this and make this a social media post, I am putting you on notice officially. I am Shanyeshe Forston. This is Derek Forston, and we own and operate Forston Consultants. The primary, Derek and I, not Forston Consultants. Forston Consultants is the only legal entity that is allowed to consult the independent living facility model. So with that being said, I put you on notice today that if you are utilizing the independent living facility model, the independent living home, independent living solutions, independent anything that brings any confusion to our brand and our likeness, you have officially been put on notice, and there will be a cease and desist and possible legal actions taken moving forward. So I land my plane there.
With that being said, we love y'all like a fat kid loves cake. T probably said, man, y'all kept me on for that part too.
I had to.
Yeah, T, you family now. Same thing, T.
We have to. It's too much, T. Like this week alone, the amount of stuff, and because we posted, it comes into our algorithm. Yeah. And people don't realize.
Thank you to all the people that's been sending us screenshots of people that's kind of doing that.
People have sent
so
us,
you guys are family now. If you
Thank
see
you.
somebody doing this, and probably I'll admit the first few people you send us, we probably gonna have them already.
Have them on the list.
Send it anyway. Our team, like we literally got a team of people that are just looking for it now. So
yeah, so it is our trademark. It's
for the first few years, we didn't bother anybody. We didn't say nothing. But now, guys, we're just getting too big, too large, and there's too many fakers out there. Like people sent me screenshots of a guy. One's a lady, two are a lady, and one is a guy. And guys, if you listen to them and close your eyes and change their tone and you'll be like, oh, that's Derek. They're literally repeating me.
Everything that we say.
Like, guys, like, be original if you're going to steal it. But don't be talking about love God, love people, love real estate. That's me.
It's wild.
So anyway, T.
T,
go get out of here, T, because T gonna be on here while we just ranting.
I'm not ranting no more. I'm done.
We love y'all. Y'all be good. And don't forget, 7 days a week, or 6 days a week, we're live at 7 p.m. And every Saturday at 10 a.m. we're also live. Shay and I get ready to take a couple of days off to just go kick our feet up for a little bit. So we'll be seeing y'all, but don't you miss a night here. 6 days a week, 7 p.m. Eastern. But every Saturday, 10 a.m. I love y'all. And now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ever ask or think, according to God's power that worketh in us. Make sure you guys go and follow the new YouTube channel. It's called Married to the Mission. And that's where Shay and I cut up a little bit more. And you guys get to see behind the scenes. One more time, it's called Married to the Mission, Forston's Unfiltered.
Y'all get to see what's going on.
Thank you so much again, T. We appreciate you.
Oh,
can everybody say thank you, T, real quick?
Can I announce something?
Sure.
So on Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what time they're launching it, but if you've ever, let me see if I can put it in the chat. I have actually had the opportunity to do a podcast called Black Girl Speak Up.
Please announce that.
It launches on Wednesday. What I'll do is I'll also have the team create a graphic and send it all out. Do me a favor, if you're interested to know more about the podcast, just text podcast to 407-326-0086, and I'll have the team send you the link.
Ignore whatever the bot tells you, because my bot
the bot's gonna say whatever. Just say
just
say Shay. Just type Shay. Just type Shay. SHAY. It is.
We'll know.
Yeah, just say Shay or Shay podcast, and I'll know. Ignore the bot. I'll get it to you all via text message. I have the team send it out. With the link. Super good conversation.
Yeah.
It was like ministry for me. That's something that I love to do, is sit down and talk with other entrepreneurs and help them, walk their journey, whether it's family, whether it's life, whether it's being a wife, whether it's being just a business partner, whatever it is that you're dealing with. But I am so honored that I was able to have this conversation with the amazing Jasmine. And see what God is going to do from this conversation and how it can help and heal a lot of lives and families just through basic conversation. So definitely text us. I'll send out a mass text of it to everybody anyway. Okay. Just say, hey, check Shay out on this podcast, blah, 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 and send you all the link. Yep. And thank you, T. Rob. Somebody just did it just already. That was you, T.
No, that wasn't me right there.
Oh wow, some people did it already. So yeah, I'll get that sent out as soon as possible. Probably first thing tomorrow. I'll get the team to send out something with the information and the link. But I'm excited about that. I'm really excited about that.
Good stuff.
That was a good podcast.
Banger of a show.
Really
so
good. Yeah.
Let's get a quick word from Jermaine Mills if he's still here.
Hey everybody, my name is Jermaine. I've been with Derek and Shay for about 4 months now. I got my first property within a month and a half or so of being under their coaching. I have a 6-bedroom house. I got all the rooms filled already. I'm charging $800 a month. You guys do the math on that. Derek and Shay don't like to talk about the money, but me, I'm a numbers guy. But the coaching is fantastic. Like, you will not lose. You will not lose. Please make the decision. Getting this coaching, whether it's the DIY or the 101 coaching, if you can do it with the DIY without talking to Derek every day, then go for it. But if you can do it and you need somebody to hold your hand and you need to call Derek whenever you need him, then I suggest you get the 101 coaching. Yeah, it's been the best decision of my life, man. I'm telling you, like, get with it, and get ready to fire your boss, because it's going to happen. Thank y'all. Peace.
Hey, beautiful people. My name is Tiffany, and I'm the founder and executive director for Upward and Onward Jacksonville, Inc. First, I want to congratulate you for joining the ILF Masterclass, as this is your initial step, your first step for creating impact. So I came under Forston Consultants, going on 2 years now, and I love it because their mentorship and their coaching is head on, side by side. They stay with you from the beginning and still now, even with me having multiple ILFs, they're still providing their coaching, their skills, and their knowledge, and just their support overall. They help with forms. They help with teaching you how to communicate with those property managers for the facilities, and also those social workers, just giving you that extra push, those extra nuggets that you absolutely need to be successful in the ILF community. So I would like to say, come on over. Come over. We would love to have you. And just like my brother and sister stated, if you love God, love people, and love real estate, this is the place for you. You will not regret it. You will love it, but you have to do the work. You have to do the work. And also with the CRM, don't tell Derek, but yes, I'm still working. He cringes when I say that, but I'm still working my 9 to 5, but only because of their CRM, that comes with their mentorship, has allowed me to actually still be in a space that I love in my community, doing social work. I am a social worker, with doing these things, and also being impactful with housing. So come on over. We would love to have you. Don't think about it. Do not, because you're going to think yourself out of it. But, pray on it for sure. And we'll love to see you over with the ILF family. Talk to you later.
Have you ever wanted to open your own group home? Were you told that you needed a license from the state? Were you told that you had to hire staff? Told that you had to own the property, right? Let Forston Consultants introduce you to Independent Living Facilities, ILF, which are group homes that do not require a license, staff, and you don't have to own the property. At Forston Consultants, we walk you through the entire process of how to operate your own independent living facility. We don't just give you a bunch of videos to watch on your own, which could get confusing. Here is what you need to do next, in this order. Step number 1, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Forston Consultants for tons of secrets on how to start your own independent living facility. Step 2, sign up for our webinar at forstonconsultants.com to learn more about this great opportunity. Step number 3, purchase our best-selling book, How to Open an Independent Living Facility in 10 Easy Steps. Step number 4, contact us for your free consultation so you can quit your boring job in the next 90 days.